Quote by Dr. Ferroni, an Italian literature professor from the Johns Hopkins University. Two separate raindrops, pushed by the wind, merge into one for a moment and then divide again, each carrying with it a part of the other. Simply by that momentary touching, neither was what it had been before, and as each one went to touch other raindrops, it shared not only itself, but what it had gleaned from the other. This is a perfect metaphor to show the connection between community involvement and civility. Community service has played a huge role. As you can see, I've been involved in many different activities, and I like to think that through community involvement I've been able to impact the community, and each one of these activities has impacted my life a little bit differently. Community involvement has helped increase my appreciation for the community along with my civility. Today, I will discuss the influence community involvement has on civility among adolescents. I will first discuss what community service is and why the adolescents are involved. I will then explain the impact community involvement has on civility and the community as a whole. So what is community service and why are the youth involved? Well, the definition of community service is service that is performed for the benefit of the community. It can also be defined as unpaid work to repay the community for something committed. There are two main types of community service. First is mandated service. Mandated service is defined as community service that is required by schools, courts, or different institutions. According to the academic journal titled Civic Engagement Through Mandatory Community Service, Implications of Serious Leisure, written by Karen Gallant, Brian Samal, and Susan Arai, it says that mandated community service, predicted as it is lack of choice and agency, impedes development of behaviors and attitudes that comprise civic engagement. It also says that mandated service is less fulfilling because participants in these programs do not feel like they experience personal and/or social benefits from their involvement. The second type of community service is volunteering. Volunteering is defined as the practice of people working on behalf of others or a particular cause without payment for their time and service. According to Gallant, Samal, and Arai, they say that beyond its benefits as a leisure activity, volunteering is often discussed in connection to civic engagement because of the opportunities it affords individuals to participate in activities of common interest and to work towards common goals. Overall, through volunteering, it is seen that community involvement is continued through adulthood, whereas through mandated service, it is not. According to a study conducted by Gallant, Samal, and Arai, they saw that 81% of high school kids were involved in community service in 2004. Also, 24% of American public high schools involved mandated service before graduation. So you may be asking, in today's society, there are many role models and behaviors that influence our attitudes towards community service. Marion Menard, the author of Youth Civic Engagement, says that youths were more likely to engage civically when their families instilled social values and a sense of social responsibility in them. Other influences may include high school recommendations, scholarships, college admissions, interest in the activity, social relationships, and social networking. While today's youth participates in community involvement, they are also developing their civility. Community service does more than just give us hours. It also helps our civility. Community service, among other things, help us build self-respect and self-esteem, both for individuals and community members. James Eunice and Miranda Yates, the authors of Community Service and Social Responsibilities in Youth, say that in working to help others in need, adolescents can begin to experience their own agency. Through community service, we can help improve our civility through social relationships. Social relationships help increase our awareness for welfare of others. It also helps us to enhance the ability to communicate effectively, and most importantly, it gives us a greater sense of social responsibility. Through a study at the University of Michigan, it concluded that volunteerism can create social capital, that is, social networks of trust and cooperation, that can then promote greater political involvement in public affairs. Another thing community service does, like I said before, it helps increase our appreciation for the community. Through this appreciation, we've seen an increase in the amount of people who continue their community involvement through adulthood. Also connected to community involvement is leadership, communication, and social interactions. T.S. Beauregard, the author of Importance of Civility, says that the key to continued health of a community seems to be the establishment of allies and connections within the community by the members. Those of us who interact with each other with mutual respect keep our community alive. Now that we've seen how community involvement impacts civility, let us recap our main points. Community involvement, whether volunteer or mandated, is steadily increasing among adolescents. Also, through community involvement, our civility can be positively impacted. Between September 08 and September 09, 16.4 million people volunteered at least once. Just imagine how our civility can be impacted if this rate steadily increases. Just remember, 1 hour of community service could help millions of people. The possibilities could be endless.